We're gonna get hammered. I think they're right on this one. I looked at a lot of data. I don't know, 15 inches, probably not, but I could see 8 to 10.
Yeah. All right. We are live. Give me a split second. I got to leave the studio to fix something else. Maybe not. Let me try to pull it up the other way. All right. I don't got to leave. I got to delete a couple things, so go record. January 8th. All right. I'm going to check our social media real quick. Make sure. Last time it crashed.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. We're on Facebook. Instagram's being weird, but Instagram is always weird. All right, we're on Instagram too now. I don't know if Instagram's up. If anyone's on Instagram, can you make a comment to see if we're up on Instagram? I don't know why it's not pulling up. Let me switch over to my personal account. Boom. All right, we have a couple people on Instagram. Mason Swinford said, "Tell Gunner that OSU is back."
There's a guy that said that they were going to make the playoff, and I said I wouldn't have those expectations year one, and Mason just went to, we're going to do it. We're competing for the Big 12. So
I hope so, but
that's a big expectation when
after. Matt, also, I said someone comment on Instagram, and he said comment, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
So this will be this week's video. Sorry we're a little late. I was having technical difficulties. Apparently I can't talk tonight either. But got it, battled through, came out on top. So Mason said, "Don't let him put words in my mouth." Look, he left. He's scared. He knew.
I had to close the door.
Mason said, "Don't let Gunner put words in my mouth."
Mason, you told me through text. I've got receipts, bud. You said, we're back. He said, the Cowboys are back. He said, Indiana proved they could do it. I said, okay, get your hopes up.
I think Indiana is the way to go. Like they're
old. Like they're guys.
Well, I'm just saying they don't have a bunch of players. They had a bunch of good, you know what I mean? Good. They didn't spend all their money on a couple guys and everyone else tried to fill in. It's like they kind of evened across the board. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they had some dogs, but quarterback, I mean, that story is insane. His whole story. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't say that OSU is going to the playoff.
I should go find the text. You tell me. Yeah. No, he said it. My phone's dead. That's great. You're lucky. Hey, Millie.
Here's our first comment up through Facebook. It's my wife. Haven't seen them all day. They were gone. So that's the way we're going to communicate tonight. They're just going to comment. It's good. But no, this will be the video for this week. Like I don't remember the episode numbers, but This will be put up for all your friends. I'll say this at the end for the people there. This will be put up for all your friends that missed it. A couple people have been blowing me up asking why we're not on yet, but we got on, had a little difficulties. Like I said, got through it. So sorry we're late, but we're here.
Are y'all snow hunting this weekend? If it's not,
hold on, let's read it real quick for Zach Gajowski 3412. I don't think there's any other Zach Gajowskis. Why do you have to add the last four numbers? But anyways, he said, "Hey fellas, are y'all snow hunting this weekend?" Gonna go.
Well, I'll tell you this, Zach. If I can drive and a duck keeps a pond open, yes. But there is a chance we're going to be snowed in for a couple days. Now, Sunday's looking like a better day to maybe do it than Saturday. And I'm sure Taylor agrees with me. If it's safe, we've got birds. Heck yeah, we'd love to hunt in the snow. But there's a chance it's going to be just not worth driving, over there. But we'll see. We'll try. I'm going to try to find something, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully either ducks or I wouldn't mind going shoot some dogs in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, we have a couple topics. Well, I haven't told Gunner, but we do have a couple topics for tonight. But we're going to keep rolling with the comments, and then we'll get to topics slowly. Definitely, we want you guys' input on it. Comment. You don't have to have a question. You can have a comment. There's not a dumb comment, and if there is, I won't show it, and you'll get the hint. But we haven't seen a dumb comment yet. But Zach Gajowski came back and said, "I'll be hog hunting on a Texas draw, so I'm hoping to be able to get it out there." Oh, to get out there. Are you guys projected to get a bunch of snow, Zach? I have no idea.
I think they're getting ice. That's what I think they're getting, which is worse.
If it's anything like their football team, it just won't show up.
They were projected at one point to get like 3 inches of ice, and a 1/4 inch of ice takes out a power line. So that'd be, I mean, last projection I saw was 1.5 inches, which is bad. I mean, it's not good, but
yeah, we've been getting emails from my team gearing up down in Texas. So
I bet so.
Prayers out for them if they have to go. So that's going to be pretty crazy. Zach said ice and supposedly 10 inches of snow in Sherman.
Yeah. We're going to miss out on a lot of the ice. A lot of ours is just snow. Yeah. We're going to have a lot of snow, not as much ice. They're going to have a lot of ice and snow. So they got a double whammy.
Yeah, I went out today and made sure all my feeders that had the protein in it they were pretty much clean and need filled anyways, but went through and mixed a bunch more grain in it just so they have something to eat just because they hit that grain hard to try to keep warm. Because I tell you one thing, if it's going to be -12 like they're saying Saturday or Sunday,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to be out there. So hopefully these deer will pull through. I mean, the ones that survived and looking good. I would hate for the ice and snow to take them out.
Oh man, yeah, no kidding.
That'd be devastating. But there'd be plenty to eat, even if they have to move a couple miles.
If we were in the Dakotas, I wouldn't even really worry about them because they're so used to dealing with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's going to be some casualty. Hopefully it's minimized, just because they're not as used to it. But.
Yeah, good thing though. Going into this time of season this year, my deer are looking healthy. Much more meat on them, not a skin and bones. So they have that for them. They don't really have to scavenge. But the thing that kind of sucks is my food plots are looking pretty bare, so that's gonna be hard. But we'll see. I put a bunch out. I was gonna put some alfalfa bales out, but everything was sold out except for one place, and I was not gonna pay their price. Mason on Instagram said, "Hey Gunner, what kind of cup are you drinking out there, bud?"
I knew he was going to comment. So I keep every souvenir cup I get souvenir cups anytime I go to an OSU game or OU game, and I keep them because they're really good cups to keep in the pantry. I mean, they just are. And so this is a beat up OSU cup. I mean, I can't even tell you how old it is. It's a football cup. And I hadn't been to a football game in Well, 3 years because the last 2 years, I mean, they had been real good. So
Yeah.
I hadn't went, and I'm an OU fan. So, but I'll go if they're good. It's fun watching good football, but they have been real good. So it's been a couple years. So that's a couple-year-old cup. But yeah.
Sorry, I got a message from someone on here. But man, where did I put my notes? I had notes of what I want to talk about tonight. What do you think? Like, so we're looking at what, a week of? Is it a week? Is it a week straight? I know it's at least 5 days straight of below freezing, supposedly.
Uh-huh.
What do you think that'll do? Or you think we're gonna be able to tell that our deer took a hit, or you think they'll pull through? Really, it's
I
below
think if
28 for 4 days right now, and then it goes to 33, and then jumps in the 20s.
yeah, I mean, I think some of the sickly and stuff aren't gonna that might be holding on or could hold on another year. It'll get them. I mean, I think that these deer, I mean, if they're not eating, they're gonna lay up for a couple days,
Yeah,
possibly. I mean, what I would do, I'd go find a nice warm corner of something, and if I'm full and I can deal with not having to move much for this storm Friday, Saturday, I'm not moving, and that's just how I think they might do it. And then we'll see them come out to eat. I think we're gonna see a bunch of deer on our camera Sunday.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's gonna be.
One place that sucks. We pulled all the cameras off a place because the cattle got put in there. But that place, it always seems like when it snows, like the pictures I get are crazy. But so far tonight, my cameras have been blowing up. I already had like 300 pictures off one camera since 6:15.
Mhm.
Wow, yeah, they piled in there. We'll see. I don't know. I think if we get a bunch of ice, that's a little different than snow. I think deer will pull through more snow, especially if they keep dry. Um, have a comment that popped in. Zach said, "Have y'all found early sheds in years past? I know down here it's almost March, if not later." Zach, I have the ones I found were deer that I knew were injured, or the ones I have found that weren't expected had a bunch of bone on them, which you don't want for infections, later down the road. I have found him in December, but that was a buck from last year. He's the one I shot. He was shot in the neck and hurt. I found one of his sides, and then a few years ago, I found one that was hurt. But that's just from stress. Of course, you don't want to lose them right now. I think we all know that. But the later they keep them, supposedly healthier. But I found a couple. Like I said, it's all pretty much been deer that are hurt or a situation where it looked like they might have been a little loose and knocked it off. And there was a lot more to it than just a clean shed, which once again you don't want. Gunner, have you ever found any?
Not real early. I think, and I don't go shed hunting like other people do. I should, but I don't. I'm a bad guy to ask about that because this time of year, which you are too, you're predator hunting and duck hunting, and you do more predator hunting than me, so that's where you kind of find your early ones, I think. But I haven't super early found a whole lot super early. No, I found some in January, like late January, which that's early, but it's not like December, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's. I haven't seen a deer either on camera missing a side. That other than the broke offs and stuff like that I've expected, but I haven't seen a deer completely shed yet. Yeah, I found them, but yeah, like you said, usually March, if not later, is kind of the key time. Some years I go heavy about shed hunting. Some years I just don't. This year I'd like to go a little more, just for a couple bucks that I found, or a couple bucks we still have, and then I want to go hit some public ground around here where I had some cameras up and saw some nice bucks, and to see if I can find any on there. I don't really get too crazy about shed hunting every year. more into coyotes and trapping and trying to shoot some ducks, but that's been a rare thing here lately.
I was excited because I was going to throw traps up this weekend, and then, Mother Nature decided to just blanket me in giant sheets of snow. Is what it's looking like. So I'm not doing that. I'm
Yeah,
not throwing up traps for this weekend. But
Matt, I don't know if it's Matt. It's supposed to be Matthew, but it's Matt LEWSINC on Instagram. He said that they are dropping already. Matt, where you at? I don't think. I'm trying to remember if I remember. Matt Lewis from Oklahoma. You already have deer dropping here in Oklahoma, Matt? Or is that somewhere else? Because I can see you go to different states. Dang, he said in Osage County. That's scary.
Stuffy. He said Osage?
Yeah. Are you seeing a bunch or just a few here and there, Matt? That's a little scary if they're dropping right around now.
Yeah.
Dang, he said 2 deer both sides and many one-siders. Wow.
You been never mind. It's gonna be funny. But have these, I guess, like we could ask, are these deer that you knew might have been injured, maybe?
Yeah, are these are we talking like kind of more stressed deer, or are we talking a little more stress-free? He said this weather will have them falling good. Man, I don't know. I don't think the weather is going to really have them. I mean, more stress. Yeah, I could see that, but it's really not dependent on weather. It's dependent on straight their body, but I could see whether, if they're stressed already and they aren't eating corn. Brick said, buddy of mine shot a buck on the place a week before Christmas, backstrapped him, and then dropped one side 2 days ago. Other than that, all have both sides still.
I just read an article from like a little excerpt about a guy talking about when they drop and why and the chemicals associated with it. Is kind of cool. But yeah.
Was any of that tied to corn?
What I read?
Matt, were you saying that because that's more stress-free area, or? I'm not questioning anything. I just kind of like to see try to hear what's going on. Zach said, Taylor, would you ever shed hunt Kansas? Absolutely. Matter of fact, the area that I was in, I would love to go back and shed hunt. There was a Mondo found last year. Double side went 180 plus apparently, and the guy that told me I would believe. You don't just say stuff. He always has something to back it up. And some of the other deer that they found there is absolute studs. So I'd like to go there and look. Saw a bunch of bucks. Would like to see what made it. Let me see if anyone. I saw that comment.
That's what you did. Nick.
He said, yeah, they only have natural browse. All right, that makes sense. A little more stressful. And then Breck asked you, Matt, why are they not eating corn? Honest question. That's something I want to talk about though tonight. Kind of want to bring up, a lot of people think about corn as a bad thing, but when you're hitting this time of year, when it gets this cold, it's kind of key for some survival. They hit the grain so hard in any state when it goes cold for a reason. It makes them warm and adds that fat to them. And especially if you had a little bit of protein in there. But, a lot of people frown upon it because people hunt it over. But I also think a lot of people don't probably run it this late. And if you don't, I would really consider, especially during hard freezes and cold weather, to put something out because you guys know we're in a drought here around here this time of year. Our food plots are looking like brown dirt. We got to help the deer out, especially if you want your deer to be the best potential next year. You got to do something during this stuff. Like if you don't feed deer around or anything, just go put some out during when it gets this cold. It's just kind of like your dogs outside. Just put some straw in. Like it doesn't take that much extra work, but what it does is huge. Matt said we always find them the past few years when we get those single digits in public. I'd definitely feed if I could. Matt, I think I put together where I know you from. I'll message you later. But my dad jumped on here being funny, trying to pull over from last 2 weeks ago. He said, "How do you think Coach Gundy did in the coaches' room during the national championship game?" He did good. I mean, I never said he didn't know football. I just think times have changed and he didn't want to change, and that's what kills a program. So I think the dude's still and will always know football, and I think he'd be great behind the mic. No pun intended, but Nick Dawa sent a kissing face to Gunner.
He's been wanting me to buy he wants me to buy some strings, I see. Soften me up a little bit.
Soften you up. William Ashley Bodie said, "Good evening, gents. Good evening." What
in the bear.
What how did I just read that too at the same time. How did the tournament go for you, William? I will say for everyone watching, you will not be getting a video of the tournament hunt. We killed one, called in 4. 2 of them were like bouncing behind this hill, like stick their head out for a second, go back, never gave us a shot. Another one was running right towards us. I was gearing up to shoot, and then he took a hard right and came 20 yards behind a cedar. Couldn't even shoot a shotgun through it if we had one, which we should have had one. That's it. But even if we did, he was through a big cedar thicket, and then he literally followed them cedars straight away, so he didn't get a shot. And then the other one came in and put a good shot on him. The only one we shot gave us like the most legit chance. But so we didn't get much footage. You guys would have heard a bunch of wind. We were hunting in like 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gust. It was brutal. So it had just been like all video, and you don't want to hear that. And then if we were to put one more down, and it would have been, probably north of 25, what would have to be north of 29, we would have placed second. But you know how that goes. Anytime you enter a tournament, the weather doesn't want to do what you want it to do, or the coyotes don't want to do. But that day, everything was fighting us. So, but we'll be back. But I know William did a different one. I'm pretty sure he's the same one that Breck did. You did Garber. I think you did Garber too, right, William? So a couple comments until they type back. Clint Sloan said, any brown trout fishing in the Bear? Yeah, there's a bunch, especially if you go up by Enid. You have to cross some private land up there, but it's fine. The guy gives anyone permission, just walk across it and throw pieces of a hot dog on a hook and you'll catch one.
Heard noodling's pretty good this time of year too for them.
Yeah. So Garber, 5 dogs won. We had 2. Dang it.
5 dogs. That's doable.
Well, you know what's crazy also is I was looking, we would have won Osage County small dog.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, what do you do? Yeah, I know. It's like, what do you do? Like, it's hard to pick which ones. The one we did is the Agra Fire Department. They do the main pot is 3 by weight. They have most dog, small dog, big dog, and big cat.
All right, how we lost that sucker.
Yeah, that weight was weird.
But, I don't know how he got up to that weight either. That was the same
and then the winner was 9. That's insane. I wish we'd have seen that dog. I don't know if that's a typo or what, but 9-pound dog for small dog.
Yeah, where was that at? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
But the winner won the main pot and all the side pots and walked away with a huge chunk. And I was like, man, like that'd
He
been
was
nice.
he was like, I'll stay up here. Yeah, buddy.
So Breck said they killed one bobcat, horrible weather, had chance at 2 coyotes, missed one, didn't get a shot at the other. And then William came back and said, we called in 6, rough day behind the scopes. It was just a rough day everywhere. I mean, I know a bunch of people that kill, and usually we usually do pretty darn good the last few times we've been. And so, and this could be why you missed a lot. Clint said, William, you suck at shooting. So maybe that's why, but and then
it's funny.
Breck came back to our talk with Matt a little bit ago, or with Matt and Breck and all of us. He said, my honest take, if you feed corn all deer season, they grow used to that food source. So don't quit feeding this time of year because you created a habit for them. Take my opinion off air. So, I mean, yeah, you created food source, but it's also more crucial now than it is during deer season.
Yeah.
William came back and said, Clint, there's a reason you wrestle and don't shoot.
Yeah.
Or don't hunt. Dang. We're going to have to break you guys up and have to sit you guys in each corner for a little bit. Zach Gowski said, any helpful hints for doing some micro plots, no-till preferably, when do y'all start them?
I guess it depends what you're planning or what you want.
Yeah, and what, where you're at. If you're under trees, you definitely have to wait till some of them, when the leaves start falling, definitely move. The best thing, anything you want to plant, I don't care if it's a plant for your house or anything, soil contact, you have to clear that ground. Rake, if you don't want to do no-till, rake and and weedy or mow and rake again. Or if you can burn the area, that is a great method to get cleared. You definitely want that soil contact. Another thing, if you're going to just straight seed to soil contact, if you don't want to break the ground and you're just going to broadcast, you're going to have to up the poundage or up the weight of the seed, just for the fact it doesn't take as much. When you broadcast, the seeds don't take on as much. And then there's also birds and other things eating them, and then blowing, washing away. There's a lot more stuff going against you. And then, your question said, when do we start them? I don't really do micro plots anymore. But when I would start them would be dependable on what I was going to plant. If we're looking at something like, let's say, clover, you can plant that anytime. It's going to get a good stand, overseed it. If you're looking for something to maybe stop for a little snack, you're going to want to wait to that September point. Definitely we want to wait till rain, because if you just throw all the seed out, then it's just going to become bird poop and squirrel poop. I have issues when I do that with the turkeys. It's like they magically know that I broadcasted that year. So definitely make sure the ground is covered. If you're doing it out in this grass, you're more safe to plant it year round versus under trees, because also the leaves will suffocate once they fall at times. So it's also good to get a blower and go in there and get all the leaves off. That's my hints. If you kind of tell me what you're thinking about planting, I might be able to help you a little farther. Gunnar, did I miss anything?
No. If you're gonna do, it just depends on what you're doing. If you're gonna no-till it, I'd mow it and then no-till it, just so you don't have to deal with it, the tall stuff.
Yeah, if the grass is real, spread out and you can see dirt, you can broadcast straight under grass and you'll be fine.
And if you're wanting just to do something where you don't have to plant seed, we've got a pretty cool podcast where we talked to Kip Lewis about summer plots and different things you can try. You don't necessarily have to plant seed. That's a cool one to look at.
But yeah, like I said, if the grass is spread out, you can go wheat. You can throw wheat on it. Heck, wheat will grow in the back of your truck on each other. If it's piled in a little corner and gets moisture, just make sure you're getting moisture either right before or a little bit after you plant. That's very helpful. I think that's a given, but I shoot myself in the foot multiple times from, 25% chance of rain. It's probably going to rain, or 50 or 60. And then I go throw it out and it doesn't rain, and then doesn't rain for a week, or get a light rain just enough to make it sprout and then not enough rain to really give it a drink and it dies. So make sure you get plenty of rain, make sure you clear the ground. Stuff like, oh, golly, why did I just go blank?
I would consider doing maybe add some brassicas or like radishes just to break up the ground. And it doesn't necessarily, need, the deer will eat it, but it's also for your soil health.
Yeah, sugar beets and oh my gosh, what else am I just thinking of? And turnips. Jesus, why did I go blank? I plant them everywhere. But that stuff definitely helps your soil. Will break up the soil for years to come. It'll help you next year. And then if you something I used to like to do is I'd go in and plant a bunch of turnips and radishes in an area, let them grow for that first year. They're going to absolutely get hammered. Some years, I guess I shouldn't say they always do. Sometimes deer have to learn how to eat those. But once they know, they'll get hammered. But the next year, your soil's a little bit better. Well, then mix a little bit of clover. And clover is going to put the nitrogen in. And then, and then you can go wheat. But always kind of keep it changing, because you don't really want to stagnate that soil. I've ran into the issue too, especially where I'm at right now. I feel like I need to do a soil test and put some nutrients back in, because the years of putting stuff out and then it just getting pounded and then everything washing out. I think I definitely need to do a soil test. You can go look at it and be like, yeah, something needs to change. But yeah, I'm not huge on microplots anymore. They're good for like a week when they turn green, and then they were getting hammered. So I just do full on food plots.
You run the risk if you just keep running wheat and stuff, your ground gets a little acidic. It can.
Yeah.
So just like Taylor was saying, rotate. Look up different plants that add different things to soil, rotate, and just guess and check. It's all about learning, figuring out what works best for soil you got, all that. So, and then those turnips and stuff, they'll break up soil. Like he was saying, what it also does on top of breaking that soil up is it allows seepage in the soil. So rainfall gets in that soil better as well when you do stuff like that. So
Breck Cherry on Instagram, he said, in a microplot, would you rather plant cereal grains or brassicas, and which one based off deer density? My go-to would be a turnip and clover. Clover can seed itself out. It's not, you're supposed to mow it and all that, so there's a little bit more time behind it, but it seems like it does better with a lot of deer density in my plants. I do like a brassica and clover mix. Heavy on the clover, and look at Ladino. Look at the clovers that they like, which is like Ladino. I think, is that considered a white clover? I'm pretty sure. You guys are hitting me after seeing. Yeah, Ladino is a white clover. Look at some white clover. Put some crimson in there. There's a certain time of year that when crimson turns or something, they like it a little bit better. But Ladino is more of their favorite clover based off studies that I've seen. But I'm in an area, no matter what I plant, if I went all crimson, it would get hammered. If I went all Ladino, it would get hammered. If I did all wheat, we just can't keep anything going. And it's like, we'll go bigger. Well, I'm trying to in an area that I have to go bigger next year. But the other spot, it's not, I want to say 8, let's just say 8 acres and 6 acres. What we ran into this year is the rain. Everything dried up. Zach said, is it a given that hogs would destroy it? Honestly, broadcasting, you have a bigger issue because the seed's on top and they'll find it. But also I've never really had, until this year, I guess, in one area, the hogs just destroy a spot where nothing grew. When I broadcast wheat or anything, I always just overdo it a little bit, knowing birds and stuff is going to eat it. And so when the hogs came through, it sounds like they did a bad deal, but then they came through and broke the ground up and then ended up planting the wheat. So enough popped up. So if you're in an area with a bunch of hogs, you might worry about it. But if you're going to be in an area and worried about hogs destroying it, definitely probably plan to spread out and do a couple different areas of microplots. And a lot of times, like a wheat field, when it starts growing, they don't really hit it as much. They'll actually eat it, which is weird. I never thought of it until a farmer pointed it out. So that's my 2 cents. I think Breck said, and which one based off deer density, which I kind of went over that. Wheat's not really going to take a big deer density unless you have a bunch of it. Same with like soybeans, mini beans, your cab beans, Australian winter peas, anything like that's not going to take a high density very well with the small area. You need a bigger area. So do something. I always say do something cheap and then plan to replant it a couple times. So overseed it until that first frost hits and then back off. Unless it's clover, you can frost seed clover. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Breck said, have you planted native grass or even a tall sorghum type grass on edge of your food plots to create a softer transition area from your timber to food?
It's not a bad idea. I haven't done it. I haven't planted because native grass can take years to actually become viable. And the reason for that is it takes, as far as like native grass goes, it can take a couple frost treatments for it to even germinate. So it may be 2 or 3 years before you even have a viable stand there. I think soft edges are, proven that they can help. And as far as making a deer, more comfortable to enter a space because he can stage up in areas. I've seen it in videos, and just our natural edges. What we hunt, we can tell. And I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I don't. It just the native stuff may take time to establish. That's my only caveat on that.
I've never planted it. We always burned, and then the blue stem took over.
Mhm.
Especially out in Osage County, at our spot, we have the tall blue stem, and it takes. I don't know. That stuff, some of the prettiest stuff I've seen in that area, and it'll take over and be 4 or 5, sometimes 6 foot tall in areas. And so we don't have to plant anything there. And the transition's nice. Now we have done sorghum in the field, kind of broke up the field. And that was a year that I felt like we personally had more bigger deer on us in the daylight. They were using that sorghum to kind of walk around. Like, yeah, you could still see their heads, but it was almost like, all right, maybe they can't see my body. I don't know what the thought process was, but I can tell you from experience, I shot my biggest deer at the time out of that. It was an hour and a half before daylight deer and muzzleloader, which, it's kind of hard to do with mature deer, especially in a pressured area where they're smart. But we've done that, and that played roles, or played, was a role in harvesting that deer. And then my cousin did that that same year, and he had the same experience as I did, as a bunch of the bigger deer were coming out. Now, on the flip side, we ran into a hog issue. We have a bunch of hogs out there, and once they found the sorghum, we kind of had to keep them out. Shot them a little more and did things to get them out of there, which, that put more pressure in there. But luckily, I shot my deer early. So let me see if anyone commented on that. But yeah, no, we haven't done much of planting native grasses. Everything I've seen or heard, it's like, be ready to put time in. And if you're looking at cost, it's pretty costly. Clint said, do you have any shooting tips for coyote hunters? Yeah, don't name yourself William. I'm kidding. No, aim small, miss small, and anytime you get a chance to take a shot, take it. Don't wait, especially if you're in a tournament.
I haven't done a whole lot of shooting, so I don't have a whole lot of tips. Just let it rip. Practice. I don't practice near enough to complain about me if I miss, but I don't miss a whole lot, but when I do, I sit there and think, well, I should practice more. But
yeah, no, it's definitely have, if you go out with a group of people, make sure you're sitting at different angles, because you think they're going to come out somewhere and then they come out your far left, or come out your far left side and you're right-handed shooter, so it's kind of tougher, or you're shooting right and you're right-handed shooter, and that makes it even a little tougher in that shot. But make sure you have different angles, so you can see everything. Always have someone ready for a close shot right by the call, and aim small, miss small. Definitely know your ranges, your in your drops. So I think that's key too, because you're looking at a deer that's when it's broadside, 4 foot. Would you say 4 foot long? Maybe a little longer on the buck.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely, I've seen some people's lay by them. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And then I don't know how deep they are, but when you're looking at a bobcat's, looking straight at you, you're looking at 5 to 6 inches by a foot, or 18 inches, whatever it is. Definitely a different target than it is a deer. So definitely practice. Get your gun. If you're shooting your deer gun and you can hit a pie plate at 100 yards and you call it good, don't go coyote hunting with that. Make sure you can hit like a golf ball. Yeah, this weekend was rough. I mean, early morning was good, and I think that's probably what I didn't get to talk to the guy, but I think that's probably when he won the tournament. If I had to guess, was that early morning, first hour, 2 hours of no wind. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why we hit the spots we did. Try to get some down. Man, I've been hearing this sound since we started. It's like a whoa, whoa, whoa in my ear. I think both of my neighbors on both sides of me have turned on their generators to see if they're working, because I've never heard this sound, and they're loud.
I can't hear it.
Well, I keep like when you're trying to talk and something keeps taking your focus. It's like that, because I can just hear them in the background.
Yeah.
Breck, are you doing any more tournaments this year? I think we might do one more maybe in February. Kind of get some redemption. So I kind of want to go to the topic. I'll wait till Breck messages back. He said negative, so he's not doing anymore. I don't know what we're gonna do, but anyways, I want to go to the topic. I don't know what you guys are doing this off season. I know TAC, did their registration. I don't know really where. I don't keep up with TAC. But I definitely, if you guys are bow hunters and you haven't shot any of these 3D courses, I definitely recommend going. I don't care if it's one of these shoots, if it's TAC or like the Shot 3D experience event, or if there's just a place around your house that's $20 and you go shoot all day. Definitely go out and do it. I highly recommend going to one of these events. I recommend the Shot 3D experience. Definitely great people. You don't have to like pre-sign up. It's not like it's not a huge deal. Like, you're not trying to draw for a special hunt. You pretty much just show up and go. A lot laid back, not near as many, or I should say not near as many. Not the accidents you hear from the other events, and I'm not talking down on the events. These are just what people have told me, and it's just a lot more laid back. So I highly advise going to shoot one of those. Go try it out. We're going to be at some of the Shot events this year. Again, great dudes. They put on a great event. Never met really a group of guys. Everyone's nice. Usually, you have one guy that kind of is grumpy on one of the events, one of the car drivers or something like that. But the vendors, everyone there has been nice. So definitely check it out. I was going to pull up their dates and kind of show you guys, and I definitely forgot. I'll look at that up real quick.
I think their first one's the 15th and 16th in March. And Canadian.
And you can pre-register for these Shot events. And I do recommend, if you're going to do it, to register, but you can show up the day before unless they completely sell out. But I think that's going to take a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it'd take a lot for them to turn people away. I don't think they will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
And the spaces that you go shoot at are huge, and they have four different courses?
Yeah, something like that.
Where is their schedule?
I had to slide down a little bit. We've got other cool stuff coming up next fall and stuff like that as well. We'll tell you guys about it at some point, but
why?
But I've been working with old gal.
Yeah.
We got to send a logo in, and they're going to get something together to start advertising, I think, Taylor. So
yeah, we'll definitely go over that more when it's kind of all solidified. But we can say if you're up, it's Woodward, or what's the town?
Woodward.
If you're up and around Woodward, what's the show called? You went. I didn't.
Racks and Rods Expo.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys go to the Racks and Rods Expo, definitely a great expo. We will be there. We're going to be doing something cool there. So go check that out. And if it's a little bit of drive, come out and hang out with us. It's going to be great. We definitely like to see everyone at our booth. We're probably going to do some podcasting. But above all, we're going to be there to hang out and have fun. Geez, I just saw their schedule. Zach Gajewski said, do y'all hunt private on these tournaments? Yes, we mainly hunt private on the coyote tournaments. There's a lot of rules and stipulations on some of the stuff we have around here for the public side, and there's a bunch of people that have gone out there. So if I'm in it for the money, I'm gonna put my best spots forward for those days. Now on the side, for fun, yeah, I'll go hunt public. It's just a different side of deal. And if you outsmart one, it's just like a deer. It's like, wow, I shot one in public. But not a lot of public around here is open. We'd have to drive a few hours, and that's a key point. You want to be as close as you can to check in, so you can make it to check in to the latest. You want to hunt more, and you want to show up at the latest point possible. So if you're 3 hours away, you're going to lose a couple hours of shooting light.
I've got their schedule in front of me.
You do?
Yeah.
Will you share it?
Well, it's like I'm on their website.
Where is it on their website? I'll pull it up.
Just the home page, and you have to slide down, and they have their upcoming events page, and it shows their all of them. They've got 6 events, and one of the pictures is our group, the Mulberry Mountain Lodge. I'm behind them.
I'll share that real quick. And Breck, I know you just asked, are any of these courses around Central Oak? There is one in Tulsa, and then there's one up in Kansas.
That one at Mulberry last year. No, it wasn't Mulberry. It was Flint Oaks. Was that the one we got hammered with rain?
Yeah. And then
Mulberry, I was sick.
Well, when you left, we got hit by rain too.
Yeah.
Another thing, we are going to have these guys on a podcast. We do have some guests coming up. I know it's the podcast we kind of stopped with all the guests. We do have several lined up. One of them will be the Shot 3D Experience guys. Great guys, like I said. We're just going to talk about their events, how it got started, stuff like that. So keep an eye on that. I actually have to get with Gunner after this and see when he's free and kind of come up with some dates and send to them. So that should be in the next month. So stay ready for that. So here's their events. Muddy Bottoms ATV Park. That will be February in Louisiana. We're going to kind of focus towards Oklahoma, Arrowhead State Park, Canadian Oklahoma. We might be there. That's a new one, I think. Flint Oak Hunting Lodge, Fall River, Kansas. Great atmosphere. Great terrain. This one will really test you, which all these events will probably test you, but I'm just saying from the ones I've been on, especially if it rains, this one will really wear you out. Here's our group last year. We went to Mulberry in Arkansas. That was another one. It's kind of in the hill, or it was in the hills, obviously Mulberry Mountain. Very fun. Definitely wear some shoes that you can hike in. And same with Post Oak. If you went to any of these, or if you're from Tulsa and went to Post Oak, you know it got hot down in the bottoms. You didn't want to really shoot that long because you came out just drenched in sweat. But there's not a single course or place I've been that I've been like, that was kind of easy. They've all tested you, and they make sure they set up a course to test you. And then the Denton 3D Classic, this is brand new for the year. They're going out to Pennsylvania. It's really cool to see a group of guys that we know taking their events and spreading them so far. We won't be at Pennsylvania, but definitely cool to see. Two of them from Oklahoma and one of them's from Colorado. So it's really cool to see them spread that far. So that's their events. I'm going to see if I can X it out. You just go to Shot 3D, or what is it? Shot3dx.com. Explains everything there. Like I said, you will not regret that. So I personally have not shot TAC, but from everyone that I've heard, they say go to Shot. It's a little bit more laid back, and that's huge. It's like golf. If you want to go golf on a Sunday or Saturday, you're going to want to go somewhere it's a little easier, and not everyone's going to be behind you trying to jam up and go around you. But if you're going to go to tournament day, I don't know, you might want to go TAC. But
I don't know. It was fun because we just went with a bunch of guys, and it was like, if it was a competition, it was friendly, just talking trash and just having fun.
Yeah.
If you made it out without losing more than an arrow or two, you're having a good day.
Yeah, definitely go expecting to lose some arrows, and then find some cheap arrows to shoot for their novelty shots for all their stuff you can win. Definitely find some cheap arrows for that. Don't be going out there with your $15 to $25 arrow because you're going to destroy them or lose them. So definitely find some cheap arrows. I'm actually doing a video over some TikTok shop arrows. I'm going to try to do some events with those. So I'm going to break them down. That'll be up pretty soon. The podcast with them. I feel like I'm missing one that was important. Oh, the videos from us last year at these events will be up in the next few weeks. So we already have one or two up. So definitely check them out. Kind of give you a little insider of what the stuff look like, but they don't ever do anything the same. They always change it. So what you see from last year will not be the same as this year. Zach said, y'all ought to explain the shot that they have that you can win stuff with. So they have novelty shots. They kind of change throughout the events. The main one that I think everyone's talking about is probably the Buffalo. He sits at 106 yards. Did last year. Don't go practice that and then get mad if they do like 108. But he sits at 106 yards. If you hit it, you get put in for a bow drawing, and then at the end of the year, side by side. So actually, Nick Dawa, I forget how many entries he got, but since he's real short, they let him shoot at 56 yards. So he kind of got a better shot. So don't let him tell you otherwise. But he got in. He actually won several bows, and then he won the side by side. And then they do one. They called it the Iron Buffalo. Had maybe a 3.5, 4-inch circle in the middle of an iron target. I want to say 35 yards, somewhere in there. It might have been like 32. I don't remember exactly. What?
I thought it was like 50, but it might not.
I think it was closer because you had to shoot through that hole, which sounds easy, but if you nick or hit it, which everyone hits, like the iron, not many people got entered in that one either, but it blows up your arrow. Then they have a couple smaller ones that are like 25, 20 yards, and you shoot. They did last year. These are all going to change or might not. So don't take my word and then go put it all. Don't don't take it, and it change. They did one where he shot out of a buzzard roost saddle, and you had to hit like 3. I forget the whole deal, but it was a little easier. Then they had one with sever. You had to put 2 of your arrows in with field tips, and then one with the sever tip in a, I don't know, maybe a 5 to 6 inch circle. Just to show that they group like the field points. I actually won that one last year and won the drawing. But so you shoot them, and then they do the drawing of whoever gets in it afterwards. But there's not many people that get in the drawings. So, and then there's like when you spin a wheel, and you can call out one of the shooters there. If you are there, I'll give you a little inside tip, and I hope he's listening. If you want to call out one of them, definitely call out Brian. He's a little easier to win against. So take him on and show him what's up. But yeah, I'm trying to think. They had like 4 or 5. And then they had one for traditional. If you shoot traditional, you do scoot up to the 40 or 50 yard mark on the 106 yard buffalo. But yeah, they have so much stuff, and it changes, and each event has a couple extra, and so nothing's really the same, but it's fun. Zach said, send those TikTok arrows my way and I'll throw some long range. Those TKOs aren't going to be in the quiver. Yeah, that's exactly what I shoot. So last year I went, I think one event I lost 6. So if you guys know what those cost, you're like, so that's why I'm changing. I want to definitely try to go if they do the Africa hunt again, and try to get put in for that. That'd be fun to do a free trip to Africa. So, and I think 30 tickets are $100, something like that. And then so I forget, guys. I have slept multiple nights from there. Definitely check out their website. And our videos will go over that too. But has anyone in here tried any cheap arrows? All right, we're gonna wait for some answers. We had another comment come in. Breck said, do y'all do any trapping on your turkey properties or any properties you'll have hens nesting on? Absolutely. We trap every year. Actually, we don't. Trapping, when I was in high school, trapping you can make money off of, and that's kind of video I'm actually doing. It's funny you ask. Back in the day, you could catch a cat and have an $800 cat. And I think that's what a lot of people got away from it, because you really can't make money, which I have seen some prices this year, and you'd at least get your gas money up. And if you took a kid or something and, got them involved, they'd be toy money, and it'd be a great way to break them outdoors. But yes, every year we trap. All of our properties necessarily could have turkeys. Our area is a lot different than yours, Breck. We don't have a bunch of open ag right around, the like creek bottoms or river bottoms. So there's really, I don't think the turkeys really nest in one specific area based off what our hens and like what we see during hunting season. But yes, we absolutely trap. I think that's something, just like the corn deal. I think that's something everyone needs to try to do. I know you guys, if you have corn out, you have 6 coons under it every night. Get them out. There's not a good coon in this world. So get all the raccoons out, bobcats, coyotes, possums. That's about it. I mean, that is it.
If you like catching foxes.
Yeah, if you can catch a fox, heck yeah. But something with trapping, you're outsmarting the animal, and that's something we do as hunting as it is. Especially with bow hunting a little more, and that's kind of like trapping. You have your cage traps are a little easier for cats and all that, and then you have your leg traps, and we do a good mixture of both. Also get the beavers out of your pond; they're destroying your ponds. But we always trap a little bit a year. We don't get to do it as much because our full-time jobs and the drive to our properties, but we definitely trap.
It's one of my favorite things to do is trap. It's just, my dad taught me when I was young, and that's what I do during Christmas break is I'd run a trap line. And our goal was to catch a couple cats, a couple of dogs, and get after some raccoons. And you always have to wade through possums at first,
Yeah.
but it's a great way to introduce a kid to the outdoors. That's wanting to do something different this time of year when deer season's over, ducks aren't flying, predator
Yeah.
hunting. It can be a great way as well, but trapping is another avenue, and it's easy to get them involved. So
Yeah, and it's something you don't have to get them out in the elements.
mm-hmm.
You can drive by and walk up a little bit and check your trap. Never know what you're going to get. So I don't know. I'm excited to show my daughter that. I have a huge passion for trapping. Don't get to do it as much from where I'm at, but I still will definitely do it a few weekends of the year, and that's better than nothing. And that's something that I feel like we preach often is a lot of stuff you can do just a little bit. It's better than nothing. And trapping is one. Especially, like the raccoons and bobcats now, the numbers. Back in the day, if you caught if you had a cat day in some areas, you were like, holy cow. Now it's like you can go catch 2 or 3. And it's just crazy. And you're looking at your quail, you're looking out for your your turkeys. That sound has started again. You're looking out for your fawns. You're just looking out for everything. So definitely do it. I don't think if you're not doing it, you're not a true manager. That's if you leave that out, you're missing the whole picture in my eyes. I know someone might be like, well, but Breck said, speaking of ducks, what's the duck plan this weekend? Gonna see what the weather does and see if the ponds stay locked up or not. Hopefully a field or something we have gets absolutely slammed Saturday, and we can make it up Sunday and put it to him. We haven't shot a duck all year. I haven't. Gunner did, I guess, the other day.
Yeah, and an otter stole it from me.
See, another reason why I should be trapping.
Terrible. I watched him do it too. I shot him. He floated. The one was pushing to the other end. I watched him float into like this little brush pile. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go get that duck. I'm gonna cook him. I was gonna cook him for lunch that day. I was excited. And I see this otter go over there, and I couldn't really see where my duck was, but I knew where he was. And this otter was over there. And then he was messing around in that brush pile, and then he left. And then he started swimming above the water, and he had something in his mouth. I couldn't see what it was. And I go over there, my duck wasn't there. And I was like, he definitely stole my duck.
Jacob Gaylord, a little late to the conversation. Yeah, we just talked about that. We're gonna do shot this year. I didn't sign up for tech. I don't think Gunner did either. But we'll be at the shot events this year.
I think Dad and I are going to an event after the weekend after the shot event in Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
We got invited to that. I'll talk to you about that a little bit.
Up in
Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Is that with what's the guy's name?
Jesse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk to you about that. He offered us a few things. I think it'd be.
Well, for the listeners, it's up there. You talk about where it is and kind of what they do.
Yeah. So I don't know. Jesse works for wildlife department in some way for the tribe over there, I think. And he puts on this shoot once a year. And it's over in Hannah, Oklahoma, which is kind of Eufaula-ish area over in there. And it's a compound and traditional shoot. So you can come with your traditional, and he has a couple different, he'll set up a couple different courses. Mm-hmm. And there'll be some compound courses and some traditional courses, which is why my dad's excited to try to go, because he's going to go with the traditional. But.
What dates do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, so it's the weekend after that shot event. So it's like the 20th or 21st, whatever that Saturday is.
Do you know their Facebook page? We can probably find it through Jesse's. If you guys are watching this and want to figure it out, we will add all that link to our Jeez, that sound is really loud right now. But we'll put that link in our description. And for all the events, and we'll name which ones they are. So you guys click on it and see. Definitely get out and go shoot. Jacob said, "Who's the better shot between you two?" I'm not going to say anything, but just kidding. I don't know. We last year kind of sucked because we both had brand new bows, brand new equipment on it, so we didn't really fully understand. But I think I have gunner and long distance shots right now.
I don't shoot hardly any long distance, so that's
75 plus. I think I have them now. Gunner can get on, and I can definitely be off. But I don't know. We've never really tried. Last year, like I said, we had all new equipment. I kind of had mine dialed in before you did because you didn't get yours completely set up.
Yeah, I didn't even have my sight completely set up. I was sitting there sighting in my bow pretty much, kind of like.
Well, the first one I had that sight that I found out broken on that shoot. I was shooting all day, and then all of a sudden I'd be like 8 inches low, or then it'd be like foot to the right, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, yeah, I'm tired, so I looked at my sight and I grabbed it and it started moving, and I was like, oh, man. Of course, we had a little competition that day, and I had to freaking swallow my pride and get beat. But the last competitions we've been to, I've held my own. I think going in this year, I'll definitely hold my own. Kyle will probably go to a couple. He can be off, and then that dude can completely turn it around. But last event, me and him had Gunner got sick and left. That was a video that's up. We went 1v1, and I think at the end we tied because I was hot at the beginning, and then it just went downhill. Jacob said we need a YouTube vid at one of the shot events, you two head to head. Yeah, I think we need to do one with all of us head to head. I think we need to get serious and don't do teams, and then see what we can do. I think it'd be interesting because we're all very competitive people. So I think if we locked it in, anyone could walk away. So we'll get that done. Jacob, are you guys going in the events? I saw you guys post about needing or asking for a +1 at I think attack. But are you guys going to shot or anything? Breck said, got to sign off, fellas. Good work. Keep up the good work. Breck, we will get together sometime soon. I'd love to meet you in person and do some of the things we've talked about. So you have a good night. Stay warm. I'm sure. I think you have a bunch of cattle. Be safe out there feeding them. If you need help chopping water or chopping ice, my arms don't work like that.
Unless you got ducks.
Yeah, unless they have ducks, and I might be able to,
if you
get them to work. But just kidding. Zach said, "I'll come film y'all. No experience, but minor details." Hey, it's easy. We had a guy last year that's never filmed that filmed.
Zach, you want to come on any hunt I ever go on and film? You are welcome. I will pay your way. I will feed you. If you want to come hike around with me for a week and film, do it. Come on, please.
Jacob said, might be able to go to a shot eventually this year. I have a baby due late March, so no tack for me this year. Well, congrats on the baby. That has been the best thing I've ever experienced so far, becoming a dad. So definitely congratulations on that. And then if you go to a shot event, let us know. I was trying to think which one. The Kansas one might be the closest to you. Maybe
that's a beautiful shoot too.
Yeah.
Arkansas was beautiful too. I believe early, but they're all pretty. They all do a good job. You'll walk into it, even like Post Oak. You're thinking, oh, Tulsa, it's a beautiful shoot.
Yeah,
it really is. But
yeah, definitely let us know if you go to one. We'll probably be there. So, maybe we can do a team competition depending on how some of my team members shoot that day.
I'll be dialed in this year. I'll be ready to go. So let's do it. Let's do team. I'll be ready to go this year. I'm gonna get like 24 arrows and just start freaking slinging here in the next after the snow melts. It's on.
Yeah, I shot the other day for a little bit, just to go through some reps. It was like 10 yards just to go, like I said, go through the motions. And it was dark, so I did it in my garage, and I was like, man, I got to get back out here. So I usually stop a little bit, but since the baby, I kind of like if I stop, I'll take like a month break and get back after it. But since the baby, I've kind of put the bow down. You go put my new strings on it. So shout out for Nick for that. Check out Unbound Strings, not sponsored. Just know the guy, super cool guy, nothing but quality. So
Not sponsored, would be though.
yeah.
Okay.
I saw a deal. Someone did one of these lives. And like, well, we were gonna thank our sponsors, and it was like a minute-long video. And I was laughing. I was like, I'm gonna do that, and then like turn it on and just be a blank page for like 2 seconds, and then come back and be like, all right, thank you.
I will be getting strings at some point, I think, from Nick this year. So.
Yeah, we got a cool video with him we're working on with rebuilding my old bow for next year. So we're going to get that going. We got a lot of stuff going this year, video-wise, that I'm so excited about. Still got a bunch of videos coming out.
I'm going to try to do some stuff with Steve this year on the boat.
Yeah, little fishing clips. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna be all over the board, and you know, you look at these pages and you're like, what's their identity? Me and Gunner really don't lock in one thing. Deer hunting is probably our best thing, but across the board, we're just as good at fishing. We're just, you know, so it's like we don't lock in one thing. We love to trap, we love to shoot bows, so we're gonna kind of be here and there, and I think that's kind of something you're not going to get out of other pages, but you're going to get from us. So there's something for everyone. So we're going to kind of keep it seasonal. And that's kind of weird right now because it's like we still have some like trapping videos, but we need to tie in some shooting the bows and stuff like that. But we'll get it figured out. We might have to break it down to a couple, do a couple videos a week here and there to kind of keep up with the times, but we'll get it figured out. We kind of made a promise to do a video a week, and we've so far stuck up, you know, except for one holiday, but it is a holiday, so we're going to figure it out. Our boy Tanner S said, what's up, fellas? He is alive. I called him the other day. I've called him for like the past 2 months, no answer, so I just texted him the other day, and I said, dude, are you alive? And he said, yep. I just been working hard, so I believe it. I know what he's doing, so no service, and then he gets home and wants to sleep. But
I don't believe he's working hard.
Yeah. He said barely alive.
Yeah. I bet it's going to be – how cold is it over there? Because you've been kind of complaining about the winters not being so cold this year.
Are you guys getting anything from this winter storm? He's in Colorado. If you want to know where, I can drop a pin for you to just get.
Yeah, right in the backyard of where he's killing big muleys too.
Huge. Man, these
it's 50 every day. I bet that's brutal for you, Mr. Rust, because you like it. You like the winter time, fall and winter.
Man, I bet the creeks and streams are going to be low this year for fly fishing with no runoff.
Yeah.
That'll probably cause somewhat of a fish kill, won't it, Tanner? Especially if the water gets warm. I didn't think of that. That's going to be rough. Every year, you know, we talk to him, we think about
I guess there is snow.
Well, no, he bought a snowmobile this year is what he's saying, and then there's no snow this year.
Oh, okay, that was sarcasm. Okay.
Yeah. He bought a brand new snowmobile and then no snow. He said water temps will get high and definitely affect them. Man, that's going to be rough. Every year we've talked to you, it's always been dirty water and mudslides. Now this year it's going to be dry. Can't be a happy medium. Unless I guess we catch a bunch of late snow, but
we'll give you some of our snow.
If we get it. I'm not going to hold my breath, dude.
We're getting it.
Yeah, he said, and fire. Yeah, the whole state's going to burn. Heck, last year it wasn't. I guess it was dry in your area.
What's going to burn over there? It's freaking.
Yo, what's left to burn? It's hilarious. There was something else I was going to bring up, but I can't think.
It's Abby's birthday today. Or tomorrow.
Oh, Dude, you should have. He said the charcoal trees from last year is what's left to burn. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, been on here for about an hour 15. Probably end it. Several good topics. I think that are crucial for this time of year. If you guys are listening, I definitely want to test you. Get out there and try something you haven't done before. You know, if it's trapping or and all that. If you guys need help with anything, reach out. I'm pretty good at explaining, sometimes not on here, especially when there's generators in the background all evening. It's crazy though. I have like anywhere from 2 to 5 acre plots of like parcels where our houses are in this neighborhood, and how loud they are right now is insane. I can't believe you guys can't hear them. But anyways, we're gonna end there. I'm way better to explain stuff when I don't have the weird noises in my ear. So if you guys need help with that, if you need help with any plot questions, definitely we'll help. We'll answer what we can. We'll send you the links that we watch and kind of pay attention to. Don't feel like there's a dumb question. If we said something wrong and there's backing to it, let us know, because I don't want to be wrong and tell something wrong. No matter how big we are, we're definitely going to pay attention to our comments and messages, which we aren't big, so don't got to worry about that for a while. But definitely reach out if you guys have any questions. And then oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask early on. What is there any videos you guys can think of that you want to see? If you're on here, you can comment before we jump off here in the next 2 minutes. But if not, just leave them in the comments. Kind of want to see what you guys want to see. We have a bunch of ideas, but if that's something that we're interested, no one else is, then we'll add some others. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Across the board, we had a bunch of Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube comments. So definitely thanks you guys for jumping on. Sorry we were late. Next time we'll be early. You can blame me for today. But this is this week's episode, this week's video. You guys, if you're in Oklahoma, stay warm. And yeah, I like that idea. And I know a guy that could help us. Tanner Russ said backcountry fly fishing.
And we'll take you duck hunting to shoot all the massive ducks here if you take us.
Yeah, all of them we're covered. But anyways, you guys, like I said, leave a comment if there's something you guys want to see. We'll try to get together if it's realistic. But this will be this week's episode. Stay warm if you're in Oklahoma or anywhere around. Stay safe. If you guys need anything or see a need that you guys think we could plug in, definitely let us know. Next week's video, I don't know what it'll be, but it'll definitely be a video Thursday morning. We have several options. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. You have anything?
No, stay warm. If you're going to be out there, shoot some ducks, baby. Get after it.
Yeah. Or some coyotes.
Yeah, that too.
All right. We'll see you guys.